ॐ विश्वं दर्पणदृश्यमाननगरी तुल्यन्निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिरिवोद्भूतं यथा निद्रया यस्साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोधसमये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयं तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं प्राङ्निर्विकल्पं पुनः मायाकल्पितदेशकालकलना वैचित्रचित्रीकृतं मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगीव यस्वेच्छया तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये तस्मै श्रीगुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ चित्किं ज्ञानस्वरूपः। So we are seeing this, what is Satchidananda, what is Atma? That was the question. And then, and so we are answering, Sat kim kalatrayepi tishtati iti Sat, which exists in all the three periods of time, means which is timeless, is Sat, which is invariably present in all the three periods of time. That is Sat. And now Chit, Jnana Swarupaha. Jnana means cognition as such, comprehension, and the truth of the comprehension, truth of any knowledge means there are varieties of the knowledge. Like there is a, let's say, the part knowledge or part comprehension, or let's say clip comprehension. Then what is the truth of it? Truth of this clip comprehension, clip knowledge. Object of this clip comprehension is clip. The truth of clip comprehension is comprehension, knowledge, right? Truth of clip knowledge is knowledge. Object of clip knowledge is clip. And the truth of clip knowledge is knowledge. Why? Because the clip is there. Clip knowledge, truth, why you call clip knowledge? Because clip is non-separate from the knowledge, consciousness, and therefore basically any comprehension, any object comprehension has definitely, the object is that is there definitely. Clip comprehension is, clip is an object, but the truth of the clip comprehension is the comprehension. Why? Because in varieties of the comprehension is invariably present, right? Like, now start doing this. This is a clip comprehension, right? I know the clip. Now if you further divide this clip into its constituent, then still constituent comprehension would remain, right? Let's say I divide into some chips, small, then chips comprehension. Then further you can go, all powder comprehension. And then powder comprehension too, you can go to a molecule comprehension, and then atom comprehension, then particle comprehension, then further subatomic particle comprehension, then further, ultimately any kind of a concept. It would be in terms of concept, that concept comprehension. In all the these varieties of the comprehension, what is invariably present is comprehension. And therefore that comprehension cannot be negated, and without comprehension that cannot exist. Without comprehension, particle cannot exist. Without comprehension, concept cannot exist. And without comprehension, atom cannot exist. And therefore, basically, this comprehension, well, the truth of any comprehension is basically the consciousness, right? That is the truth of it. So consciousness is the truth of all the comprehensions. Why? Because any object, it may be a concept, it may be an atom, it may be particle, it may be molecule, it may be a chips, it may be a powder, or it may be a clip itself. All these are non-separate from the consciousness, right? Can you tell me the boundary of consciousness and clip? Boundary of a clip and boundary of a consciousness. Can you demark it? Can you show me the mark between these two boundaries? Cannot be, because this is non-separate. It is non-separate from this consciousness, and therefore the consciousness which is present in all varieties of the let's say object consciousnesses, that's called jnanam, object knowledge. Well, the consciousness or the knowledge is the truth among all, right? See, this boundary concept you have to resolve properly. See, this object is away from me. When I say it is away from the body, away from the senses, maybe away from the mind also, till it doesn't become an object of your thought. Once that is loaded into the thought, then it is non-separate from the thought. But if it is not loaded, then it is away from the thought or mind. It is away from the senses. It is away from the body. That is there. But it is never away from the consciousness. Here you can find a boundary. Swamiji, this is away and body is away. Well, that is all there. But basically from consciousness you cannot find any difference. I mean any kind of a marking in which you say this is away from the consciousness. Never. That's how the objects are within the mind. Some of the objects are outside the mind. That's possible. But nothing is away from consciousness. Like, there are some objects which are present in the room, and there are some objects which are outside the room, present outside the room. But that is possible. But there is no object is away from space. Could you follow this? No object is away from the space. There may be objects inside room, outside room, and that is possible. But nothing is away from the space. Everything is within the space. Same way, there are objects within the mind and without the mind. Outside the mind. That is possible. So you can find a boundary. The outside the mind or inside the mind, well, that is there. But from away, nothing is away from the consciousness. Right now, some of the objects are not within the mind. But that also I am able to tell you right now that some of the objects are not within mind. That's also, it is within the consciousness, right? Without consciousness is not there, I cannot tell the object is within the mind or without the mind. Away from the mind, I cannot tell. And therefore everything is within the consciousness. And therefore everything is non-separate from the consciousness. And in fact that object keeps reducing and reducing. You can reduce it to any extent, but you cannot, still it is never away from the consciousness. So the truth of any knowledge, object comprehension is ultimately the comprehension, and that comprehension which is non-separate from the, the comprehension which is invariably present in all varieties of the object comprehensions, that is the truth of all comprehensions, all object comprehensions, and that is called jnana. Comprehension means knowledge, basically, object knowledge. And so here it is said jnana swarupaha. So that jnanam, well, which is the comprehension, or you can say even cognition also. And all object cognitions, ultimately cognition or the knowledge is the truth. It is invariably present in that. And therefore it is invariably present. The knowledge which is invariably present, consciousness which is invariably present in all cognitions, well, definitely is Sat, because it is invariably present. What is invariably present in all the periods of time? Well, start from any past. You will have to tell that consciousness is there. Without consciousness, you cannot talk about past also. You cannot talk about future. So either you talk about any objects of future, any objects of the past or of the present. You will have to say consciousness is. Right? And therefore, basically, consciousness is invariably present in past, present and future. That we call it as a Sat, Kalatrayapi Tishtati. And that consciousness is Chit. And therefore, what is invariably present is Sat. But that invariably present is the consciousness which is invariably present. And therefore, Sat is Chit and Chit is Sat. So that is the truth. We have seen this, but here it has come again. And then we have to go further. This is a definition of the Atma. Sat Chit is a definition of Atma. And it cannot be applied to any other thing. It cannot be applied to any other thing. Definition means Lakshana. Now let's go ahead. Anandakkaha Sukhaswarupaha Evam Satchidanandaswarupam Swatmanam Vijaniyat. So, what is Anandaha? Sukhaswarupaha. It is of the form of happiness. Sukhaswarupaha. And evam Sachidananda Swarupam Swatmanam Vijaniyat. In this manner, may one know oneself of the nature of Satchit and Ananda. So, existence, consciousness and fullness or wholeness. So, Anandakka means what is this Ananda? Means the truth of this Ananda, truth of this Sukha is this wholeness. Which is why Ananda we generally translate it as a wholeness and not bliss. Because the bliss is, we have explained all these things. Bliss definitely indicates, it's an experiential word generally used in the spiritual jargon. So, and it cannot define that thing. But when you Sukha, you define it, or happiness you define it as a wholeness. Well, that gives a certain understanding of the nature of Atma. So in a moment of happiness, this subject-object fusion occurs, which removes any sense of a deficiency or alienation or discomfort within the self, regarding the self. The self becomes, totally comfortable with itself, and therefore we call it as a wholeness. Whenever wholeness arises, whenever I experience wholeness, there is no discomfort. Whenever I experience, deficiency, well, some deficiencies pertaining to the self, you will not be happy. And therefore, in a moment of happiness, definitely this deficiency or alienation is not there. And well, two things are there in the wholeness, only two things are there, subject and object. Subject-object resolves, the fusion in a moment of happiness. So we say we are experiencing wholeness. If so far as the division is there, if the awareness of such division is there, then there is no wholeness. If I am a subject, you are object, well, there is no wholeness. But if I experience in a moment of happiness, this subject-object both resolves. Fusion occurs experientially. Please understand this, experientially. And knowledge-wise, one has to know, definitely. Knowledge-wise, one has to know that subject is also a consciousness and object also is a consciousness, that is a self. That one has to know. But experientially it takes place. So experientially takes place itself proves that there is no division, really speaking, between subject and object. There is no division. Then why are you creating a difference? You are only creating a difference, Swami. You only tell this, Atma and Anatma, you only create. We are not having any kind of a division. You create the division. Yeah, we should create a division ultimately to cover all in the subject. Definitely you take certain thing as a self. Anatma as Atma you are taking, and thereby you are creating a limit of yourself. And so we say this is Anatma and you are Atma. Well, ultimately, and then consciousness will not have any dimension. When Anatma is taken as Atma, there is a dimension, 5 feet 6 inches. I am 5 feet 6 inches. I am located in the chair. I am this. I am having birth. I am having death. I live up to 100 years, whatever. So you create a division. You create a division, and I have not created division. Anyway, you are born with the division. Let's say you are born with the division and all the time feeling a sense of limitations you have. So we say this is anatma, this is anatma, and then ultimately the subject, that is our consciousness, has no boundary. Then you cover everything. Then this body also is covered inside, and other bodies are also covered inside. And therefore subject-object confusion is basically, object is taken as a subject, anatma is taken as a. But experientially you resolve this. All this division resolves. Not only in waking state, even in the deep sleep state also. And so you have an experience of, in a moment of joy, you have an experience of wholeness. And so that is why we always say Ananda means wholeness. That's how we say. So Ananda is a Lakshana, or we call it as a Swarupa. There are two types of Lakshanas generally are there, Tatastha Lakshanam and Swarupa Lakshanam. But here Satchidananda is a Swarupa Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana is just a pointer, indicator. Yeah. So it is not a pure, it is not a Lakshana. Like, the house which has a red color, that is Swami's house. You are defining Swami's house is like this. But that's correct to an extent, or for few years. Some Diwali will come and then I will make it green. And then that Lakshana goes away, that definition goes away. They used to give the house on that, the house on the terrace of which a crow sits is a house of a Swami. Well, that is true, but the crow flies away. Then how to define it? So these are Tatastha Lakshana. Tatastha Lakshana means they just basically point out. And that is very good, especially in India. There are especially housing societies have all same type of houses, all same color, same size, everything same. Then how to show somebody if wants to go to a particular house, how to show? Then we say, where in the balcony, if you wear, are you seeing those clothes in the balcony? Yeah. That is the house of so and so. Oh, that's a Tatastha Lakshana. Point out, indicate. But that will not be there. So people, once they are dried up, the cloths are dried up and then they take away the clothes. Then that Lakshana won't work. But this is Swarupa. Swarupa means which cannot go away. It can never go away. And therefore, Swarupa Lakshana is Satchidananda, is a Swarupa Lakshana, and it cannot be applied to anything else. Ananda cannot be a Swarupa of an object. Ananda cannot be a Swarupa of a time. Ananda cannot be a Swarupa of any place. Oh no, Swamiji, Bahamas and Hawaiis and no. they are not the Swarupa. Any island can become a source of unhappiness also. If you are struck there, suppose you have gone for some purpose there and then suddenly locked down, and now you are stuck up there. What will you do now? Every day you are passing in a boring this one, and therefore you want to come back to your home. You feel your home only has a joy, so much joy, and you are remembering all the time, when will I reach my home? When will I reach home? Any flight comes and they say you have to pay so much of charges. Yeah, I'm ready, but I want to go to my house. No object is called Ananda. Only Atma is Ananda. That's all. Definition, Swarupa Lakshana can apply only to a particular thing by which it has been shown. So limitlessness or wholeness, well, it covers both subject and object. Subject-object division means limitation. Subject-object division resolves, that's a limitlessness, and that is experienced in a deep sleep, that's experienced in a moment of joy. And so whenever we talk about Ananda in Vedanta, we always say limitlessness, wholeness, fullness, Purnamadah, Purnamidam, etc. So in this manner, may one know the nature of one's own self as Sat, existence, Chit, consciousness, Ananda, wholeness. So this is the way Satchidananda is over now. So our definition of Atma we have started, Shariratraya, Vilakshanam, etc. स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण शरीराद व्यतिरिक्तः पंचकोशातीतः and then avasthatraya sakshi san Satchidananda lakshanam yes yah tishtati sa atma. We have defined like that. So it's over. Now certain crucial question comes. I mean, by this just I am consciousness day in and day out, and therefore I become Swamiji. Well, that's fine. Then I will be liberated. No, sir. Something else is remaining. This I am Satchidananda, etc., or I am consciousness, etc., also is a little, it's a condition. We have to cover something. If you won't cover, this is really not a knowledge. It's just some kind of a mental state. We'll have to cover few things. Okay, what are the problems then? Okay, so Pujya Swami described very beautifully. I am just referring to it only right now. Well, somebody is asking a question to Swamiji that when you say I am Satchidananda, then I am limitless, etc., then am I the truth of these words, you mean? I mean, then I am the truth of the entire world? Satchidananda, you say, that is because Ananda means wholeness, limitlessness, and therefore if I am limitless, then definitely I am the whole of everything. I am the whole, and I am truth of everything. Truth of the entire world. Swamiji said, yes. Yes, you are the truth of the entire world. So does it mean that there is nothing else beside me? Swamiji said, yes. What else can I say? When I say you are the truth of everything, well then you can, if you understand it properly, well then there is nothing other than yourself. That's correct. Then does it mean that I am a maker of the entire world? Yes, you are the maker of the entire world. Then am I a maker of you? He is asking to Swami. Yes, you are maker of me, Swamiji said. Then how is it that I am listening to you? I am a student, maker of the teacher, then to whom I am listening? I am maker of you, and then where is this teacher and student, and where is the scriptures and all this arrangement? What about that? If I am maker of everything, if I am the maker of the teacher and the teaching and the shastra and everything, and all the students are sitting here, then what is this then? I see there is some arrangement. Even I am telling you right now that I am maker of you and everything. That's because I have received knowledge from you. And then after all, now where the teacher has gone? If I am maker of the teacher, then definitely teacher has to come later. I should be before that. Right? I should be before that. If I should be before that, then am I born with this knowledge? But I am saying you that I am receiving knowledge from you. I am receiving knowledge through the Shastra. That seems to be, they are all present before me. And now you are saying I am maker of the teacher and the Shastras and everything, and maker of the other students and everything, and maker of the entire world also. What is this? It doesn't seem to, I am not able to gulp it. I find some arrangement. The teacher is there, teaching is there, I am right now there, my senses are there, my mind is there, my brain, etc. is there, which can comprehend your knowledge, your teaching, etc. Everything, this seems to be some arrangement. What about this arrangement? Who has given this arrangement? No local human being can give this arrangement. No local human being can create senses. No local human being can create one body, that body of a teacher. No local human being can create the Shastra. What about this? Even I am getting this knowledge and I am maker of everything and I am limitless. But who has given this arrangement by which I came to know this? No jiva has the capacity to give. The body, senses, the mind, and the teacher's body, teacher's mind, and this, all the Shastras and everything. What about that? I cannot be the maker of this arrangement because I am part of the arrangement. Right? I am the part of this arrangement, the teaching arrangement. And even the teacher is also a part of the arrangement. Shishya is a part of the arrangement. Then somebody else must have provided all this. Somebody else. Somebody else means what? No locally available, naturally. Because the way I am, the others are also. Everyone in locally available, all they cannot make this arrangement. Somebody else means then there is only way. Somebody from above. Somebody from above has provided all the arrangement, and I have come to know that I am the maker of everything. I am limitless, I am maker of everything. Now who is that entity? Is he inert entity or he is a conscious entity? If he is a conscious entity, then I am also conscious entity. And then he is different from me because I am part of arrangement, he is provided the arrangement. Then two different conscious entities seems to be are there. And you are telling you are limitless consciousness. And therefore there is nothing other than limitless consciousness. Then that cannot stand apart from it. What is this? It is a great confusion. It is a great confusion. One has to cover something. Otherwise Mahavakya would not be there. If just by knowing, till today we have known this, you are limitless. We have gone to the extent of that Tattvabodha, gone to the bottom of the Tattvabodha, and since 40-45 days we are all the time telling I am consciousness, I am consciousness, I am consciousness. But that is not sufficient. It is going to create simply a condition in your mind, ultimately, that I am consciousness. If you want to say that I am the whole and limitless consciousness, you need to even cover these arrangements also. All these arrangements in which teacher, student, and all the infrastructure and this book, the Shastra, everything has to be covered. It doesn't make sense that I am maker of the Shastra, I am maker of the teacher, I am maker of the body of the teacher, I am maker of the senses of the teacher. It doesn't, it's just a lip service. It's a lip service. I am consciousness, it's good. It gives me very much peace also because I am silence. And you always now then search of the silence. You will be in search of the silence. More you are in search of silence and peace, you will find more problems also. And therefore, more you run away from it because I am consciousness, I am silence. Then this consciousness covers the whole arrangement and varieties of the objects. Very, very difficult. I am maker of this redwood tree. It doesn't make much sense, really speaking. No, it is asti bhati priya, asmi bhami priya, and therefore asti bhati priya, asmi bhami priya. One, asti is asmi, bhati is bhami, and priya means ananda, and therefore this is a beautiful way of saying is beautiful. But one who has provided this arrangement is non-separate from you, and thereby you are limitless consciousness. He is non-separate from you, you are non-separate from he. Well, that makes some sense. So some factor is there which we'll have to cover. So more understanding of Tvam as a consciousness is not just enough. And so, we need to account for Tattvabodha, who is a provider, intelligent provider of everything. And thereby then it makes a sense that one who is an intelligent, who is a provider of all the arrangements, provider of the maker of the creation, etc., is non-separate from you. Well, then it makes a sense. Just by saying this Tattvabodha ultimately is nothing but a consciousness, and therefore I am consciousness, that's not enough. So Tattvabodha also has to be analyzed, as we have discussed, analyze the Tattvabodha also. Tattvabodha analysis is the meaning of the Tattvabodha is analyzed. Please understand. Tattvabodha analysis is the meaning of the Tattvabodha is analyzed. Meaning of the Tattvabodha is the direct meaning of the Tattvabodha is analyzed. Direct meaning. Tattvabodha means the three bodies and the consciousness behind all the three bodies. So a conscious entity identified with the three bodies is Tattvabodha Vachyartha. Direct meaning. That is analyzed and told. Sthula Sukshma Karana Sharirat Vyatiriktaha. Well, so that is distinct from these three bodies. Now you have transcended the direct meaning of Tattvabodha. Direct meaning of Tattvabodha includes three bodies plus consciousness. That is a jiva. The consciousness identified with the three bodies is an individual. Tattvabodha means an individual. Direct meaning. Jiva. Then to arrive at the Tattvabodha Lakshyartha, well, that is just a consciousness. We have to say, well, it is distinct from three bodies, distinct from three states of experiences called Jagrata, Sapna, Sushupti, distinct from Panchakoshas. All this we have done. Because the consciousness which is, which is identified with Panchakosha is a Tvampada Vachyartha only, direct meaning, called Jiva. And same way, Jagrata, Sapna, Sushupti, the covering, the experience, consciousness which covers the experience as a waker, etc., is also Tvampada Vachyartha. So one has to transcend that in order to arrive at the real meaning of the Tvampada. That's called Lakshartha, implied meaning of the Tvampada, and that is consciousness. That's fine. That's one side. But we have to account for this Tatpada also, with the arrangement. From where these bodies have come, from where all the states of experiences have come. No, I am maker of that. I am maker of that. Doesn't make sense. I am distinct from all the states and distinct from all the three bodies. But the bodies itself are an intelligent creation. Who has given this? I have not. I am part of the arrangement. I am part of the experiences. And therefore, somebody else must be there who has provided everything. And then, of course, he is also non-separate from you, or you are non-separate from him. Either way, essentially you and the provider of the arrangement are one alone, essentially. Well, that makes a sense. Then you become limitless consciousness. Okay. You are a limitless consciousness, he is limitless consciousness. Okay. There is one limitless consciousness. That is one. We will have to. So Tattvabodha has to be analyzed, and we have to understand the equation called Tattvamasi. So in reality, there should be oneness, otherwise there is no equation. Equation means we have to establish oneness. That's the equation. Then to begin with, there is oneness and the equation is not required. You say both are one. Why are you making equation then? Tat is equal to Tvam. But if essentially they are one, why are you making an equation? Tat is equal to Tvam. No need. If essentially they are one, to begin with they are one alone, then there is no need of making equation. And if essentially they are not one, then equation cannot help. Equation is to provide, to show the oneness between the two. But if there is a oneness to begin with, then the equation is not required. Could you follow what I am saying? So there is apparent difference. And apparent differences are taken as the real difference. And then we will have to show through the equation that there is no difference. Like we used to give this, 5 plus 9 is equal to 18 minus 4. 5 plus 9 is equal to 18 minus 4. See, on this side 5, 9, here 18, 4, different. Here plus, here minus. Right? Still, apparent differences are there. But essentially it is one. Then equation is required. Others, and if, Swamiji, both the side 14. And therefore equation is not needed. 14 is equal to 14. Then that equation is not required. But apparently differences are there, and yet essentially non-differences. Their equation is required. And Tvampada is basically the meaning of the Tvampada is that Jiva, the individual who has been given the bodies, right? Who has been given the bodies and he has identified the body and he considers himself as an individual. And Tattvabodha means the provider of the body, creator of the bodies, creator of the creation, creator of the arrangement. And therefore Tattvabodha is basically a creator. Tvampada is considered as a created Jiva. And one is Alpagnya, Alpashaktiman, etc. Other is a Sarvagnya, Sarvashaktiman. That is, he is an Antaryami, he is a Karmaphala Data. I am one who is beggar of the Karmaphala. Right? My karmas and he has to give me Karmaphala. And he is a provider of the Karmaphala Data. Oh, so much difference. Yeah, that's what we are telling you. Tattvabodha indicates all this. That is Ishvara. Tvam-pada indicates this jiva, right? And therefore seems to be the difference between the two. Yeah. That then jiva and Ishvara are not one. No, they say tat tvam asi. Oh. So then these differences are apparent differences? Yeah, apparent differences. Essentially they are what then? Essentially both sides 14? Yeah, 14. Essentially there is consciousness, limitless consciousness. Jiva also is essentially, by nature it is a limitless consciousness which we have arrived at Satchidananda, and Ishvara also is basically a limitless consciousness, and for that equation is required, because the meaning of the Tvam pada, that is Jiva, is a direct meaning, is a Vachyartha, and the meaning of Tatpada is a Ishvara, that's also direct meaning, Vachyartha, but essentially when you take a Lakshana etc., when you see the implied meaning, well, you will find that Tat and Tvam are not really different. They apparently look different. Therefore, equation is essential. We have covered one part of the equation. We have to know the other part of the equation. We have to go to the bottom of the Tatpada meaning. The way we have gone to the bottom of the Tvam-pada meaning and arrived at Satchidananda, limitless consciousness, etc., which is self-existent, self-evident. Well, we have to analyze the Tatpada and go to the bottom of the meaning of the Tatpada. And well, that also should be limitless consciousness, and thereby Tat is equal to Tvam. So Tattvamasi, we have covered a part of it. And so now we have completed the portion called Tvam Pada Vichara. Now we will be beginning Tat Pada Vichara. Analysis. Vichara means analysis. Analysis of this, analysis of the meaning of the Tat Pada, Ishvara, etc. Tat means that, but that is always indicated for Ishvara, that creator, etc. So then, well, he has provided the arrangement, he has created, therefore we have to start from the creation. From creation to creator. And the creator means Tatpada Vachyartha. From there we will have to go that is also limitless consciousness. And thereby again come back. From Tatpada, which is nothing but limitless consciousness, is nothing but the Tvam-pada Lakshartha, that is also limitless consciousness. So we will have to start from the creation now. Then creation comes means the basic elements from which the creation comes. And then of course, this definitely requires Maya also. Without that it cannot create, etc., etc. Because you are going to say ultimately it is consciousness. The consciousness cannot create. Limitless consciousness, you say there is nothing other than that. That is the essence of even Ishvara also. Well, it cannot create anything. And therefore, it needs other than that something by which can create. Anything which is limitless, without that there is nothing else, then how can it create? What is created definitely must be different. And therefore, you will have to assume some factor by which this limitless consciousness can create. Oh, that is Maya. Oh, then we have to talk about Maya also. So this is how whole thing. Now we will entering into Maya, really speaking, after some time. Anyway, creation. So we'll just start this part. Tatpada Vichara, in that we'll start first the creation and then creator also. Atha chaturvimshati tattva utpatti prakaram vakshamaha. Atha means now. Means after the discussion of the Tattvampada Vichara is over, after the discussion on the center on the Atma is over, now Chaturvimshati Tattva Utpatti Prakaram. Chaturvimshati, 24. Tattva. Tattva means essential, principle, factors, whatever you say. So, Chaturvimshati Tattva Utpatti Prakaram. Prakaram is a mode of this origin, mode of the creating of these 24 elements. Vakshamaha, we will tell. So, Vach Dhatu is there. Vach Dhatu in a future tense becomes Vakshati. They add Sya, and so then it becomes Vakshati, etc. Vakshati means will tell. So, Vakshamaha, we will tell. Like that, Shankaracharya ji tells that we will tell you now the mode of this origin of these 24 factors, which is responsible for the entire arrangement. So now means that seems to be the cause of everything, and of the entire physical body, cause of the physical body, cause of the physical world, etc. And they are nothing but these 24 factors. So Utpatti here, Chaturvimshati Tattva Utpatti. Utpatti means a creation, Srishti. And Prakara means a mode, a particular method of creation, in which this Chaturvimshati Tattva, the 24 components are there. So this is our model of understanding for the created world. Sometimes they reduce it to the five basic elements. Sometimes they say it is 24 tattvas, etc. Of this means of the created world, this Jagat, which is we call it as a Karya, this 24 tattvas, 24 factors, which is called the Karana. So there is a cause-effect relationship between Jagat and these elements, 24 elements. So Tat in the sentence Tattvamasi is ultimately the cause. Well, of course, then creation comes, and then he will tell about that he is a creator who has created the 24 elements, the tattvas, and by which whole entire creation has come. So Tat is basically the cause of the Jagat, and Tvamasi means that cause of the entire creation is ultimately, through Mahavakya we'll understand it is that you are the cause of the Jagat, because Tat is considered, Tat will be explained now as a cause of the creation, and that is Tat, that is Tvam, and therefore you are also the cause of the Jagat. We'll have to see that how it is possible. So let's first look at the direct meaning or immediate meaning of the Tat. Well, ultimately it's a limitless conscious, etc. Then we have to arrive it. So the immediate meaning is that he is a creator. There is a creation made up of 24 elements, etc. 24 factors, let's say. 24 factors. And and so immediate meaning of the Tat is the creator. That's all. Out of these factors, 24 factors, he has created the whole arrangement. He has created whole universe. So immediate meaning of Tat is the creator, that is Ishvara, which is the cause of the world, the called Jagat Karana. And immediate meaning of the Tvam is what? The individual. The direct meaning. I have already told you the direct meaning, immediate meaning or Vachyartha is this individual. That is Tvam-pada, Vachyartha. Immediate meaning of Tvam-pada. Immediate meaning of Tat-pada is Ishvara, the creator. And Shastra, you know that Shastra only establishes all this. This is a pramana. That the Shastra says Ishvara has created this Jagat, and ultimately, it says also the Ishvara and the Jiva both are essentially Tvam-pada Vachyartha and Tat-pada Vachyartha. Essentially, they are one. Apparently, they look different. Jiva and Ishvara apparently look different, but essentially, both are nothing but one Vastu, that is called Brahman. Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Or initially, we have seen in Tvam-pada Satchidananda. Then Sat means Satyam, Chit means this Jnanam, and Ananda means this Anantam. And therefore, there is an identity between the two. And the identity is established via Mahavakya called Tattvamasi. So Tat and Tvam, in immediate meaning, they have a difference. In a direct meaning, in a Vachyartha, there is a difference. One is Jiva, one is Ishvara. And the attributes of Jiva are entirely different from attributes of Ishvara. Entirely opposed. Totally opposed. Totally opposed. And therefore, difference is there. And yet, Mahavakya tells it is essentially one. Well, then we will have to put the equation. Where there is apparent difference and essentially they are one, there the equation works. If initially itself there is no difference, we need not put an equation. 14 and 14. Okay, write down 14 is equal to 14. There is no need, sir. No need to write. Yeah. And there is difference at all together throughout. Well, the equation cannot work. Equation is meant for to show the identity. And therefore, ultimately, these differences should resolve. Yeah, it resolves. And therefore, the differences which you are seeing right now, they are not real differences. Real differences, no equation possible. Really no difference, no equation. But apparently difference, ultimately no difference. Equation is possible. Therefore, Jiva and Ishvara are essentially they are one. And so we'll start from then we will have to talk about now creator, etc. And for that we'll have to tell now this Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, which is the essence of both Jiva and Ishvara ultimately, or Satchidananda, which is an essence of both. Well, this same Atma or Brahman, with the help of Maya, gives this entire arrangement by which you come to know that I am Brahman. He has to provide you the teacher, the creator has to provide you the teacher, creator has to provide the Shastra, the creator has to provide you the body, the mind, the senses, all faculty by which a knowledge can occur. Well, I am the maker of the I am the maker of the entire universe. Well, for that all this arrangement has to be given. I am the part of the arrangement, so I cannot make it. So somebody has to give, that creator has to give, and so we'll have to talk about the creator. And so, well, here it has been told now that with the help of Maya, it creates. Brahmashaya Satvarajastamo Gunatmika Maya Asti. Okay, so we'll start this topic of Maya from Monday. Perhaps we'll take help of Panchadashi also. I will see that tomorrow. I have a break, so I will see some of the portion we can take it from this. Or Panchadashi has described very beautifully the Maya. I will look into that. So that I will take it from Monday. I will give you now a meditation. Now today's meditation I am giving you through the chant. So through the chant and the gap between the chant, we have discussed that. If you remember, the gap between the chant indicates a silence, and then the silence there is nothing but myself, etc. Ram, 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 Ram. Now chant mentally the same way, the same name mentally. Being conscious of the gap of silence obtaining between two Rams. Chant mentally. Observe the silence as even you chant, and quietly drop the chanting when you are satisfied, and be the silence. I am silence. Repeat the word silence in the mind and see the meaning. When you repeat the word later by later, slowly. Silence, silence, silence. Like this. Repeat it, seeing the meaning. The word silence is not silence. When I repeat the word silence, there is no silence. When I see the meaning of the word silence, there is silence. And the thought and the content become one and the same. And the one who repeats is also silence. I am silence. The thought is silence. The content is silence, which I am. See the beauty of it. Silence I am, which is the content of the word. The thought, silence. Repeat. Silence I am. Silence I am. Shantoham. 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 Silence I am. Silence I am. Silence I am. Silence I am. Silence. 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 Om. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.